Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I've got two energies of guidance here today. I have two different decks that I'm using and they both feel very different. One of them feels very open and very flowing, very willing to communicate. This one feels, it's like an older deck that I have and it's like easier to shuffle. It's more willing. It's easier to get to. The energy in this communication is a little bit more, it's newer. It's a newer deck for me, and so it's not broken in as much. It doesn't have as much experience, but it's also a little bit more, I don't know, it's harder to get to. The energy is a little bit more resistant. So that's maybe the energy that's present for you. Like maybe you're one of those energies. Maybe you're more willing to communicate. Maybe you're not as willing to communicate. Take it however it resonates for you. There's a cycle right now that's coming to an end. And also beginning. It is starting. There's also a realization in the energy of this person, the one that's a little bit more closed off. It does feel a little bit more closed off, a little harder to get to, a little bit more resistant to communicating, because that's what these are doing, are communicating with me. A little bit more resistant to communicating because they're in the middle of a certain kind of self-realization. This other person over here is looking at themselves. They're just going about it in kind of a different way, but they are either in the middle of realizing something about themselves and an old pattern. This does feel like it's kind of like an ancestral thing, like this is the same pattern over and over again, and this is what my parent went through, or it's like they're deciding not to repeat the same pattern that one of their parents went through, or somebody in their ancestry. It does feel ancestral with that child in there. But they're also realizing that they're repeating a pattern that is not theirs and it's not suited for them. The way they go about realizing it is not what you would think. And it's not on the same timetable as yours is. Like over here, it's like, let's do this. Let's do the inner work. Let's do this like shadow work or whatever it is. The way they're going about, and I just heard like men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So the men are processing through it in kind of a different way than what the women, so the masculine versus the feminine. This feels very masculine energy right now. I don't think they realize that this is what's happening yet. That they don't realize that they're repeating a cycle just yet, an ancestral pattern. Okay? So, just have some patience. Or it's you. Or you don't realize that you are repeating an ancestral pattern that is just, it was passed down to you, and but once you realize it, you don't have to keep repeating that same pattern. You just don't. Yeah, you can choose to end it. You can choose to end that pattern. There is help there. There is help. You just have to ask for it. It's like an old way of looking at things too. Like there's a belief that was passed down to you that was your parents or was like however you received it. Like it's an old way of disciplining or an old way of being in relationship or, an old spiritual or religious view. Could be from the church too. This is, and there were a lot of views from the church in how to approach a relationship. You've been approaching relationship in a way that is just outdated. It's just not going to suit you, and it's just you repeating that pattern, and it's going to crash and burn. So there is this old belief that you need to see, and you might need help seeing it. I'm seeing them like asking for help. What is this old pattern? Not asking for help, not accepting help is the pattern. Not accepting help until it's too late. Like, pretty much past the point. It's got 10 swords in them. So, but you can see that pattern. Someone else might need to see it for you. Okay? This one is like, I can help. Let me help you see what that pattern is. The pattern is not asking, not allowing someone else to see the pattern in you. Not allowing someone else to see you. This is very Divine Mother. This is very grounded. Very knowing. This is very wise. It's someone who's wise. I just heard wise to the ways of the world. I don't feel like this person, this energy that is going to help you is of this world. It's like this energy is like outside this world. It could be an energy of a guide or someone who's passed or something like that. Could be this like ancestor too. It could be this ancestor's energy. It's coming from a different like dimension or something like that to give you guidance. Sometimes this is like a mother's energy. This Empress is usually like pregnant in most of these. I don't know that she is in this one, but in a lot of the decks she is pregnant. So it could be like a mother's energy. Could be Mother Gaia. It could be you're getting your guidance from the spirit of the earth or whatever. To give you guidance in how to do things differently. And it does, like you can see this baby in the womb too. Something was passed down to you from your mother that there's some wisdom there now to do things differently from her. Right? Knowing what she knows now. I feel like my mom is in such a different place in her life too, since she's retired, and she just lives her life so much differently now. And I wonder if she would ask. She totally had a very hard time asking for help when she was a single mom and stuff like that. There's some sort of guidance here about asking for help in ending a cycle. Okay, let me see what else from this one. King of Pentacles. I just love the way that they fit together, these two energies. She is very powerful. This is the major arcana. The King of Pentacles feels like he's up in his... she feels like she's ascended. It's almost like an ascended master energy. So she's moved on. She used to be alive, but she's not anymore. This one feels more earthy. He feels alive. He feels like this could be father energy too. So the combination of advice from both of them is really important. But it's also like looking at his patterns too. So look at his patterns. What is it that he didn't ask for help, or asking for financial help or something like that? This is something financial. This is very earthy. This is like getting the guidance from a higher source, but also a person who will bring this through for you. Like, if you've never had a card reading done before, like I can bring through the guidance of a higher source or your guide or your mother or whatever it is here now to find out what that pattern is. Doing things on your own is a trauma response, like being hyper independent. This feels like hyper independence, but it feels very guarded right now in the way that you receive guidance. You have to surrender a little bit. It's hard to receive. I see that. Oh, this is on the bottom of the deck. It's hard to ask for help when you feel, I don't know. Whoever this is, it's really hard to ask for help. But there is some sort of balancing in asking for, like, just surrendering. There's some kind of surrender here that needs to happen. Surrender to a higher power, however it shows up to you. Someone is going to offer you advice or offer you guidance that you didn't realize you needed. It comes from just saying, putting it out there, okay, send me someone that will help me. I do need some help. You're asking, your higher power for help. And then an actual person comes in and offers you some sort of help. It's like you don't go directly to them. It's like they come to you because you have said, okay, I need help seeing this pattern, or I need some help understanding the connection, or whatever this ancestral thing is. And that person will just come to you and offer it to you, and it's going to be very clear that the message was meant for you and that it was a direct result of having asked for help. And I feel like that's a very important step to breaking the pattern. It's hard though. It feels like a little bit of weakness. I feel like a failure though if I couldn't do it on my own. It's hard to recognize that I'm in a different place than this person is, and this person knows a little bit more, has a little bit more, and makes me feel weak. It feels like a very manly kind of thing, like men are the providers, or men are the ones that do this, or women are the ones that do this. It's like very role oriented. That needs to be sacrificed. Okay? Take it however it resonates for you. It's on the bottom of the deck here. It's Hierophant, very spiritual source. Either way, it's like let go, let God. And receive back in whatever way you receive back. If you asked God for guidance and help, can you receive, if you prayed because you're a religious person, can you receive that guidance through a tarot card reading? Is there that juxtaposition there where it's only someone who can only be from someone you pray to God, and that the only way that you really honor the guidance that comes would be through a priest or through a pastor or someone who is in that same, or could it be from someone like me who offers it in, it is a spiritual guidance. Can you let go of control in the way that it is received? That's what the Hierophant is telling you. Let God. Let go, let God. Let the universe. Let yourself receive. And you'll feel it. If you open yourself up, get your brain out of the way. Get your mind out of the way. Thoughts. Swords are thoughts. Get your mind out of the way in how you are willing to receive it. Because at the end of the day, if you close yourself off to, like, God is trying to show you the answers. He's trying to show you the answers, but you're like, no, I'll only receive it like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. You put your trust in God, and God is like, here's a tarot card reader. Here is, this person who's meditating, or there is this, someone who does Reiki, or just like these alternative approaches, or something outside of your scope of understanding the way that God communicates with you. And God is like, well, I sent you this person, I sent you this person, I sent you this person. And but at the end of the day, you're just like, you didn't realize that because you're like, your brain was closing you off to receiving the right guidance until it was too late. God was like, I sent you that doctor, though. I sent you to this doctor, and she told you something that you weren't expecting, and it wasn't like your purpose and what you wanted to get from her, and yet she told you these things over here, and she told you to go get them. I just had a doctor's appointment the other day, and she said I'm due for my mammogram, and I'm due for this, and I'm due for that, and that's not why I went to her. I went to her for this issue over here, and she's like, oh, by the way, you're due for this. That's God giving you a message. How are you receiving it? Can you receive it in a different way than what you were expecting? That's the message here. Okay, how does this resonate for you? I know someone who, waited too long to ask for help, or to see where that help was coming from, or where God was coming from. You have the opportunity to see it a little bit differently and change that for yourself. Or I feel like there is some sort of loss here. You're going to have to go through the loss of something or someone. But you're being given the opportunity to step onto a different timeline and do it differently than it was done in the past. Your heart is hardened just a little bit to receiving. All right. That's what I got. Love you guys.